Baik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you guys? We are from group 7. We'll present about the integrative model. Before that, let me introduce my group member. The first is Sri Mulyana as fifth speaker. The next is Sri Rahayu as the last speaker, Sri Wahyuni as the second speaker, Syukran as the third speaker, Ulya Sari Arsyad as the fourth speaker, and me, Zurgawi, as the first speaker. Okay, we are going to the first material will deliver by me. The first is introduction. Okay, uh, in introduction, people from previous generation needed to know how to use mechanic to live well. People living in the 21st century need to know how to understand and use information to live well. Being able to find, collect, organize, compare, analyze, and synthesize information about innumerable topic in many media formats is essential 21st century skills. Today's citizens also need to be able to make connections, understand relationship, and develop inferences based on a content. The integrative model provides a structure that helps teacher guide student in a process of describing, comparing, categorizing, analyzing, examining a relationship, and making generalization about organized bodies of knowledge. It's also it also scaffolds student learning through a series at four different phases during which students analyze the content-based material present in a text and other formats. The chapter provide on an overview of the history of the integrative model and its different phases. It also provides a suggestion for when a teacher should use the model, how they make a plan to implement it, and what it looks like in practice. Either the chapter discuss which technologies might be used for implementing the model and how teachers might effectively support diverse learners through the use of differentiation techniques. The chapter concludes what's an integrative model lesson. Okay, the next is what is the integrative model? The integrative model is a purpose-driven instructional model that supports a student as they work to develop the ability to learn independently using various thinking skills. In this model, the teacher facilitates a student analysis of information about the topic communicated in an organized collection of materials. Successful implementation of the model result in student processing information and ideas from rich content materials into new ideas and understandings. In the process, students grow in their ability to think, analyze, and draw a conclusion independently. This model relies on a formal strategies that teach students how to analyze and interpret information they might encounter in a school and beyond. Through engagement in the integrative model, student acquire and develop skill they can use regularly to make a meaning form experiences in a school and daily living. The model supports student learning across the academic subject areas while also empowering them to become independent learners. Okay, the next material is the integrative model consists of four phases. The integrative model consists of four phases. Each phase is each phase purposefully focus student in different cognitive process that progress to drawing meaningful conclusion about information explored. In the first phase, students describe, compare, and search for pattern in the content that represent an organized body of knowledge. In the second phase, students explain the identified similarities and differences by examining the content more closely. That is, a student must go beyond simple identification to explain why similarities and differences exist. During the third phase, a student from a hypothesis based on their examination of the content finally the content finally, or the last phase is a student make a broad a generalization about the content. They form a conclusion that synthesis their understanding and also demonstrate how their understanding might be considered in a large content. I think that's all from me. The next material will be delivered by Sri Wahyuni. To Sri Wahyuni, time is yours.
Okay, thanks for the chance that has been given to me. So I will continue the presentation from my friends. So now I will explain about what are the history and origins of the integrative model. So the integrative model developed by teacher educators Don Kauchak and Paul N. Jack builds on the important work of Hilda Taba. Taba, a highly influential teacher and scholar in the field of education, authored the Taba Curriculum Development Project and several teaching models addressed previously in this text. A lot of these models are designed to promote students' ability to think and reason, a major goal for all of Taba's work. In the integrative model, as in the TABA models, the teacher plays a crucial role in supporting students' thinking. He or she acts as a facilitator whose questions assist students as they examine evidence, analyze patterns, make sense of relationship, and draw conclusions from an organized body of knowledge. The integrative model complements the existing TABA models by promoting students' ability to think and make generalizations about data from organized bodies of knowledge. Next, I will explain about when should the integrative model be applied and why. So the following sections discuss what teachers should use the integrative model to do. First, teach about organized body of knowledge. A great deal of content stuff at all academic levels involves learning about organized bodies of knowledge. Organized body of knowledge represent a combination of facts, concepts, generalizations, and their relationships. Note that organized bodies of knowledge are not just concepts, although concepts are building blocks that support them and even from the basis for their organized structure. Second, support students' development of conceptual knowledge. The integrative model is one of the best models for teaching conceptual knowledge. The interrelationship of facts, concepts, and generalizations that is at the heart of the model. It is an ideal model from teaching conceptual knowledge because the purpose of the model is to foster students' conceptual understanding of the content being learned based on facts, concepts, and generalizations. Third, develop critical thinking skills. Teachers should use the integrative model to promote critical thinking skills. which involve thinking at the higher cognitive process levels of the received Bloom's tax- taxonomy. In the first two phases of the integrative model, students work at the lower stage of the received Bloom's taxonomy, which emphasizes factual knowledge, and then in the last two phases, teachers gradually lead students in the application of higher level cognitive process skills. And the last, make connections between content that is learned. One of the purpose of the integrative model is for students to synthesize the content they are learning to make connection and inference based on their analysis. Uh, Finding relationships between content material and the ideas presented in them is a 21st century problem solving and critical thinking skill. I think that's all from me. Saya kembalikan ke moderator.
Okay, thank you for the second speaker, and the next speaker is Syukran. Time's yours.
Okay, thank you for the time that has been given to me. Next, I'd like to explain about what are the steps in the integrative model. So, the integrative model consists of four major phases. Jadi, integrative model terdiri dari empat fase. Yang pertama, describe, compare, and search for patterns. Jadi, pada tahap pertama, menjelaskan, membandingkan, dan mencari pola. Kemudian yang kedua, explain similarities and differences. Pada tahap kedua ini kita akan menjelaskan persamaan dan perbedaan yang ada. Kemudian hypothesis outcomes from different condition. Kemudian memberikan hipotesis hasil dari beberapa kondisi yang berbeda. Kemudian pada phase yang keempat, generalize to form broad relationship. Jadi pada fase keempat ini kita akan generalisasi untuk membentuk hubungan yang lebih luas. Well, the next materials is what does the integrative model looks like in the classroom. Well, the integrative model can have a significant amount of variation in its implementation, as there are many ways of one might teach organized bodies of knowledge. For instance, a specific pace can be implemented by their intended cognitive activities supported using real-time direction or record direction from the teacher. Variation also occurs because organized bodies of knowledge that might be explored using the integrative model may vary extensively in format, size, or organization. The time required from an integrative model lesson or unit can also vary significantly. If organized bodies of knowledge need to be created by students to implement the model, academic learning time will be required. In this instance, it is best to view the integrative model as a series of lessons or a unit of instruction rather than one lesson. So that's all my explanation about two sub points. I give it back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the explain about the material. And the next speaker is Ulya. Sorry, Arsyad. Time's yours.
Well, thank you for the chance that has given to me. So I will continue the material, and the material will be about the first one is what do these scenarios illustrate? The second one is ensure compatibility of learning goals with the integrative model. And then the last one is identify critical understandings about the organized bodies of knowledge. Okay, so I will explain the first one is what do these scenarios illustrate? So these three scenarios that have been explained by my friend present the implementation of the integrative model at different grade levels by different teachers and within different time spans. Each teacher has unique learning goals, methods for facilitation, and use of grouping, timing, and pacing. Yet, all of the teachers challenge students to develop critical thinking skills while also learning about important content area standards at the same time. Jadi, ketiga skenario ini menyajikan penerapan model integratif pada tingkat kelas yang berbeda oleh guru yang berbeda dan juga dalam rentang waktu yang berbeda. Jadi setiap guru memiliki tujuan pembelajaran yang unik, metode untuk memfasilitasi, dan penggunaan pengelompokan waktu dan kecepatan. Namun, semua guru memicu siswa untuk mengembangkan keterampilan berpikir kritis sambil juga belajar tentang standar area konten yang penting pada saat yang sama. Okay, so the second one is ensure compatibility of learning goals with the integrative model. So, the integrative model is highly effective when addressing learning goals that are related to students' development of conceptual understanding of ideas presented within organized bodies of knowledge. These learning goals are considered critical understandings. Critical understandings might be concepts or generalization. They are most important ideas that must be learned. Jadi seperti yang disebutkan sebelumnya, bahwa model integratif sangat efektif ketika mengenai tujuan pembelajaran yang terkait dengan pengembangan pemahaman konseptual siswa tentang ide-ide yang disajikan dalam kumpulan pengetahuan yang terorganisir. Tujuan pembelajaran ini dianggap sebagai pemahaman kritis. Nah, pemahaman kritis ini mungkin konsep atau generalisasi mereka adalah ide yang paling penting yang harus dipelajari. So, the model is equally effective addressing learning goals related to students' development of critical thinking skills required to understand information presented in organized bodies of knowledge. Therefore, when teaching with the integrative model, teachers must first engage in reflection and self-questioning of determine if the learning goals they have identified can be addressed through use of the integrative model. Review of content standards can certainly help in determining these critical understandings. Teachers using the integrative model often teach above and beyond the standards because wording of standards is often too narrowly focused on fact or concept and not generalizations. Nah, seperti yang ditunjukkan skenario, ada banyak cara berbeda untuk mengimplementasikan model integratif. Langkah-langkah tertentu harus diambil oleh guru dalam tahap perencanaan untuk memastikan peluang terbaik untuk sukses. Nah, yang pertama adalah memastikan tujuan pembelajar kompatibel dengan model integratif. Yang kedua adalah mengidentifikasi pemahaman kritis yang harus diperoleh oleh siswa dalam pelajaran. Nah, yang ketiga adalah mengembangkan organisator grafis yang membantu pemahaman dan menganalisis siswa. Yang keempat adalah membuat pernyataan untuk mempromosikan pemikiran di semua tingkat taksonomi Bloom yang direvisi. Nah, yang terakhir adalah memilih sumber daya untuk analisis. Okay, we move to the next. The last explanation. So, it is about identify critical understandings about the organized bodies of knowledge. So, identifikasi pemahaman kritis tentang kumpulan pengetahuan dan terorganisir akan meningkatkan kemampuan guru untuk merencanakan pembelajaran model integratif, perencah pembelajaran siswa, dan memilih sumber daya yang sesuai. Nah, tentu saja, seperti kebanyakan kurikulum yang ada, siswa kemungkinan akan menentukan pemahaman tambahan. Tetapi, penting bagi guru untuk memiliki beberapa gagasan untuk memberikan pemahaman tentang pemahaman paling kritis yang harus dicapai siswa selama pelajaran model integratif. Nah, according to Wiggins and Tige in 2005, understanding has the following characteristics. So there are 5 characteristics according to them. The first one is an understanding is an important inference drawn from the experience of experts stated as a specific and useful generalization. The second one is an understanding refers to transferable ideas having enduring value beyond a specific topic. The third one is an understanding involves abstract, counterintuitive, and easily misunderstood ideas. The fourth is understanding is the best acquired by uncovering and doing the subject. And then the last one is an understanding summarize important strategy principle in skill areas. Okay, maybe that's all from me. Thank you for your attention, and the material will be continued by the next presenter.
Okay, thank you, Ulya. And the next speakers is Sri Mulyana. Time's yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the opportunity that has been given to me. So I will continue the material. The next material is develop graphic organizer to self-help students learning. So the integrative model works so well because it scaffolds students learning of organized bodies of knowledge. One effective way for teachers to support students learning throughout all the phases of the model is by requiring students to record their learning using graphic organizers. Nah, jadi model integratif bekerja sangat baik karena model ini membantu pembelajaran siswa dari kumpulan pengetahuan yang terorganisir. Nah, salah satu cara yang dapat dilakukan guru yang sangat efektif yakni dengan meminta siswa untuk merekam pembelajaran mereka menggunakan pengaturan grafik. Graphic organizer can be useful as a tool to support studying a large body of knowledge. For example, when students record information about books they have read, and as tools to supporting the analysis of a body of knowledge. For example, when students use a Venn diagram to compare character in books they have read. Graphic organizer dapat berguna sebagai alat untuk mempelajari sejumlah pengetahuan. Misalnya ketika siswa mencatat informasi tentang buku yang telah mereka baca. Kemudian graphic organizer juga bisa berguna sebagai alat yang mendukung analisis kumpulan pengetahuan. Misalnya ketika siswa menggunakan diagram Venn untuk membandingkan karakter buku yang telah mereka baca. Graphic organizer will also useful for both purposes. Jadi graphic organizer juga ini bisa untuk kedua tujuan tersebut. Misalnya ketika siswa menggunakan Rudolph organizers untuk merekam pembelajaran seni pada abad ke-19. In these scenarios, graphic organizers are tools for promoting certain types of thinking, such as comparison and pattern recognition. Dalam skenario ini, graphic organizer adalah alat untuk mendorong jenis pemikiran tertentu, seperti misalnya perbandingan dan pengenalan pola. Graphic organizer are practical because they allow students to record information in a way that facilitates information processing. So graphic organizer ini sangat praktis karena memungkinkan siswa untuk merekam informasi dengan cara memfasilitasi proses informasi tersebut. Nah, such organizer also fill a role in communication students' thinking and documenting their learning. This information can assist teachers in correcting misunderstanding and directing innovation. This information can assist teacher in correcting misunderstanding and directing intervention in their efforts to ensure all students understand the content. Finally, graphic organizers can be used to communicate accountability and assessment information. Nah, pada akhirnya graphic organizer ini dapat digunakan untuk informasi akuntabilitas dan untuk penilaian. The next one is create questions based on Revitz-Bloom's taxonomy. The Revitz-Bloom's taxonomy serves as an appropriate scheme for developing the questions because the phase in the integrative model require students to examine material on a continuum of increasing difficulty and challenge with regard to cognitive processes. Taksonomi Blossoms yang telah direvisi berfungsi sebagai skema yang tepat untuk memeriksa materi yang kontinum, yang semakin sulit dan menantang yang berkaitan dengan proses kognitif siswa. Next material is select resources for analysis. Selected resources must help students attain the ultimate goal of the integrative model, forming generalizations about the content. Nah, referensi yang dipilih harus membantu siswa dalam mencapai tujuan akhir dari model integratif, yakni membantu generalisasi dari konten yang dibuat guru. Nah, to that end, the resources chosen should be age and developmentally appropriate and have enough depth and breadth for students to be able to describe, compare, hypothesize, and develop generalization. Nah, untuk itu sumber daya yang dipilih guru harus dipilih sesuai dengan usia dan perkembangannya, serta memiliki kedalaman dan keluasan yang cukup bagi siswa untuk menggambarkan, membandingkan, berhipotesis, dan mengembangkan generalisasi. Moreover, teachers should provide or guide students in finding resources that provide multiple ways to learn about the organized body of knowledge. It will be from books, magazines, primary sources, secondary sources, video, audio, and so on. Nah, selain itu, guru juga harus menemukan sumber daya yang menyediakan berbagai cara bagi siswa untuk belajar tentang kumpulan pengetahuan yang terorganisir. Nah, baik itu bisa dari buku, majalah, sumber primer, sekunder, audio, video, dan sebagainya. I think that's all from me. Saya kembalikan ke moderator.
Okay. Thank you, Sri Mulyana. And the last speaker is Sri Rahayu. Time's yours. I'm so sorry about that. Maybe my friends have a bad network, so I will continue the materials. Okay, the next material is differentiation interaction with uh, the integrative model. The integrative model. Uh, as the s- uh, as the scenarios in the chapter illustrate, there are a variety of ways in which the integrative model might be implemented and differentiated. Although a passes in this model are uh, clearly uh, outline what a teacher plan of student to do during each of these passes might differentiate it in a variety of ways. Whereas younger students and those with less experiences applying cognitive process skills, especially critical thinking skill, will require more teacher direction and support. Older student accustomed to rigorous analysis of material might be less. As educational designers, a teacher need to design interaction using the integrative model in ways that ways that a best of for student needs interest and a developmental level. Okay, the next is what are the benefits of applying the integrative model? The most obvious benefit of the integrative model is that is support students development of critical understanding of content. The model also promotes development of critical thinking skills, support awareness of relationship between a concept, and developing a student ability to synthesize information from various resources. The following section discuss what the integrative model does: developing student critical understanding of content, promote development of critical thinking skill, support awareness of relationship between a concept, and synthesis learning from a variety of resources. Okay, the last is what the value does of technology and to the integrative model. A teacher can capitalize on the use of technology for the planning, implementation, and assessment of learning when teaching with the integrative model. Although some tools can be used in all three areas, example use of survey tools. Technology provide teacher with some unique ways for planning, implementing, and assessing students' learning when using the integrative model. I think that's all from my group. More and less, please forgive my group. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.